girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking all things neutral, which is very weird for me, but every once in a while on my channel we can dive into the neutral world. So I thought I would talk you guys through my favorite neutral palettes for deeper skin in terms of medium to dark skin. Of course, if you're lighter skin you can use these palettes as well, but I find that there's not many wasted shades in these palettes in terms of on darker skin. Of course, those beigey bone type of colors don't really work on us. So these palettes all add depth into the crease. They will show up on your skin tone if you're medium to dark, and they will give you a nice brown neutral look. So I'm going to start with this one because it is nice and affordable, and I have mentioned this in previous videos, so I don't want to ramble on about it for too long. But this is the Technic The Heat Is On palette, and this is a warm tone palette, but you also get those gorgeous deep dark browns and a black that you can deepen up the outer V, smoke it out, all of that good stuff. I find that there's not a lot of beigey bone colors in this palette, so you will get use out of majority of the palette. Most of these transition shades show up on me beautifully, especially when I use like an eyeshadow base that's a bit lighter than my skin tone. These all show up beautifully, and I believe this palette is like £3 or £3.99, something like that. Really affordable, and the quality is amazing. They're really nice and pigmented shades. They blend out really nice, and they're not too hard to work with. Like, you know, some shadows can be super pigmented that they're not that easy to blend out. These are not like that. They're very easy to work with, and you do get a nice range of shimmers in here. You get like bronzes and golds, a little bit of a pinky bronze as well. Really nice like range of colors in here. So yeah, definitely recommend this. The other affordable palettes that I recommend are the Revolution Reloaded palettes. So here we have the Soft Glam. No, this is a dupe for Soft Glam, but it's not called Soft Glam. It's called the Velvet Rose palette, and this is what the shades look like on the inside. Once again, you get nice deep dark chocolatey browns. You get a nice warm tone brown and a cool tone brown, a black so you can deepen out and smoke out the outer V. Gorgeous range of shimmers in here as well, from golds to bronzes to the pinky type of mauvey colors. There are a couple kind of caramel bone shades in here, like this one and this one, but if you're doing an all matte look you can pat that shade all over the lid, but there's not an overwhelming amount of those colors. You still would get a lot of use out of all of the other colors in this palette. Like this one would work, this one would work, this would work, this would work, this would work. They would all work on deeper skin tones. So yeah, definitely. And I feel like these are £5, I think they are. Really affordable, really good color selection. And also the other one that I highly recommend for medium to dark skin is the Neutrals Free palette. Every shade in here will show up on you beautifully. These are more plummy, but you still get like neutral browns in here. Now the rest of the palettes are kind of not high end, but they are a bit more higher priced than drugstore, for example. So the next one I'm going to talk about is one of my favorites. This is September Rose Brew palette. They also do my favorite Slush palette, but that is like one of my favorite rainbow palettes. In terms of neutrals, this palette has my heart. You have such gorgeous neutral tones in here in terms of these transition colors, this neutral brown, but you also get my favorite maroon berry, gorgeous deep dark purple. You even get like a corally orange, and then this warm tone brown over here. Really nice mix of neutral tones that will show up on medium to dark skin tones. You get a black, but you also get a bone white if you do want to, you know, do that for some reason. I've never used that shade, but it's in there if you want the option. And I believe this palette is like £20, so it's not super expensive. Also, I do believe I have a discount code. It is Tammi. I think it gets you 10% off. It is affiliated, so don't like use it if you don't want to. But either way, I am obsessed with this palette, and I definitely will continue to use it. Let me just swatch this shimmer because these shimmers always blow me away. Look at that. It is also a black owned, woman owned brand, so definitely support. Next we kind of have a mini palette. This is a kind of new release from Juvia's Place. I don't know if it's new anymore. It's been out for a few months, but that's fine. This is the Chocolates by Juvia's, and it comes with 6 shades on the inside. Neutral browns, neutral colors that will definitely work on deeper skin tones. The only thing is I find that these two shades are very similar, especially on the eyes. They both come out as a deep dark brown, so I do wish like this one was possibly either not even a black, because I feel like it's dark enough to kind of do the job of a black shade, but I wish this was something different. I'm not sure what, maybe a maroon, me knowing me, or maybe because it is called the Chocolates palette, they could have made it a chocolate brown darker than this but not as dark as this, a kind of in between chocolate brown, if you know what I mean. But it's totally fine. The palette is stunning either way. But overall, if you are one of those people that just like to take a crease color, outer V color, and then a lid shimmer, this would work beautifully for you. You can even do that kind of all over matte eye if you want to. Take this in in the crease, outer V, and then tap this one all over the lid. It will just, it's not too pale as well, so that is a really good shade. I just feel like this is a great option for people that know what they want. Like if you don't want the option of maroons and warm tones, you just want brown and you know that's what you're gonna wear every single day, this is a great option for you. And I believe this retails for $13 or $14, which translates to about like 10 or 11 pounds, so really affordable as well. So great option from Juvia's Place. They do also have that palette, is it the Warrior palette? I can't remember, but it's got all of those deep dark colors in it, but I don't personally have it, so I can't really talk about it, but that does look beautiful. Okay, so next we have a palette that was actually created with melanin in mind. This is by brownmelaninmakeup.com, and this is called the Melanin Fantasy Eyeshadow Palette. This was created with darker skin in mind. Of course, lighter skin can use it. You can use anything, of course, anyone can use anything in this world, but it's nice to think that when this was created, it was created with darker skin in mind. So these are the shades on the inside. You have nice big pans. You do get a mirror in here as well, but you get nice deep dark chocolatey browns in here. You get a couple transition colors. You also get this gorgeous like pink berry color, a gorgeous yellowy mustard orange, and it's not a pale dusty like yellow, it's a good orangey yellow that would make a nice kind of blended out brow bone type of color. And even though this is like a neutral palette, you do get your nice pops of color that will just look gorgeous on deeper skin, like the orange and the pink. They will just pop really nicely as transition colors. So if you don't want to do all out color like me and just go with green, blue and purple, then you can easily do a neutral look but add a slight pop of orange into your crease or a slight pop of berry into your crease, just to add a slight bit of color without going like me. Okay, so next we have this palette from Oma Beauty. I haven't used this in ages, but as soon as I was going through my collection and I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I remember this palette. I love palettes that when you look at them and you go to use the shade comes out darker than you expected it to. I don't know why, but for me it's always nicer than coming out lighter, and that's what these do for me. The mattes in this palette, even this one, when I went to reach for it as a transition, it came out so much darker than I expected. I ended up having to mix it with a little bit of this one. So yeah, don't let this palette deceive you. Even though some of the mattes do look kind of like lighter, they definitely come out nice and rich on the eyes. Really, really nice pigmentation in here. This blue is stunning as well. I feel like this brand is a little bit more expensive than everything else I've talked about, so yeah, bear that in mind. But yeah, it is a great option if you do like Oma Beauty. Okay, and last but not least, I was tossing and turning if I should include this one in here because I do like using it, but I don't feel like overall it is very dark skin friendly. It is dark skin friendly, you can get looks out of it, but overall as a palette it is geared towards maybe medium. So take this one with a pinch of salt. The rest of them I swear by, but this one I'm just like putting it in there because I like the palette, and if you tend to like the color scheme, then go for it. This is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Clientele palette with Jar, in collaboration with Jar, and these are the shades on the inside. So they're not super deep dark shades. You don't really get deep dark shades to blend with. You do get this kind of cool toned color and maybe this dark burgundy shade, and you do also get a black. But in terms of transition colors in this palette, I don't find that they're not that deep, and I haven't used this palette a ton, but every time I have used this palette I do really like the neutral look that I get out of it in terms of like this pinky berry type of neutral look. But if you do like cool tone looks, you do have a cool tone section down here. The shimmers in here are absolutely outstanding, one of my favorite shimmer formulas. But yeah, I do feel like if you are my skin tone and lighter, you will get tons of use out of this palette because the transition colors in here will work. But if you are deep dark, I'm not sure I would recommend this palette because overall there's not really deep dark shades in here. So yeah, that is it from me, guys. Let me know down below your favorite neutral palette, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Make sure you are subscribed because I will be talking about my favorite nude lip combos very soon, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care, bye.